Calories in, calories out doesn't work for everyone. Yes, it does.
Thanks, Ivana. That little clip was from Ivana Chapman. She's got a popular fitness and weight loss YouTube channel. And in today's video, I want to cement for you what the absolute bottom line is when it comes to losing weight. On the internet, there is so much confusion, so much conflicting advice when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to health. Obviously, weight loss is a separate discussion to health because you can lose weight eating unhealthy foods, but you could also lose weight eating healthy foods. You can also gain weight eating healthy foods if you have too much of them. So from the mouths of the experts and the top YouTubers in the fitness space, and from two people who just lost weight doing it this way, I'm going to let them speak, but here is the bottom line when it comes to weight loss.
But the bottom line is calories in, calories out will help you lose weight. It's energy. If you eat less energy than you burn in a day, you're going to lose weight.
So a calorie is a calorie because calorie just refers to the amount of energy something contains. What is different is sources of calories can have differential impacts on your level of energy expenditure. So all sources of calories may not be the same, but all calories are the same.
So why are you not seeing results? Number one, the most important, you are not in a caloric deficit.
If your goal is weight loss, calories always drive the show. And
if you want to lose weight, you'll need to get into a calorie deficit. And I'm going to go through several different approaches to get you there.
And have body fat you don't like, it's not seed oils, okay? It's not because you're not doing a cold plunge. It's because you are eating enough calories to maintain your current level, okay? Body fat is energy stored. When you overconsume calories, your body stores energy in the form of fat cells. Those fat cells fill up. What we need to do is create a situation where your daily routine puts you in a caloric deficit. Now,
Kaiko is as real as it gets. But in the real world of assumption and measurement, sometimes you got to be patient to see it working out. And you have to make sure that your assumptions are what they are.
A calorie is a calorie. It's a unit of energy. It's the first law in the rule of thermodynamics. So law, not theory. It's a law, okay? And that means it's been proven. It's an energy equation.
Basically, she says that calories in, calories out is bro science, and the human body is way more complicated than that. It's actually not. If you look at the tightly controlled metabolic ward studies, when they assess people's energy expenditure, and then they precisely control their intake, they lose or gain almost the exact amount of weight that is predicted. People say, well, we're not bomb kilometers. No, we're not, but we kind of are, because here's the thing. There's this thing called the first law of thermodynamics, which states that matter cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred in form. And so, when you eat something, the carbons that are in that must go somewhere. They don't flitter off into oblivion. And we can measure them, and we can see where they go. And then the next thing is, well, it only applies to an isolated system. Not true. Energy balance already assumes that the system is not closed. Because what do you think thermogenesis is? It is the wasting of energy as heat, which is part of your BMR, part of your NEAT, and part of other parts of your physical activity. So if you lose weight, it's because you're eating less than you expend, I can assure you. Now, where I will somewhat agree with him is simply telling somebody to eat less and move more isn't really constructive for helping them, because many of these problems are tied up in their behaviors and habits, and you're better off working on habit building and behavior change than you are just telling somebody, just eat less, move more. That's not really a helpful statement. It is actually factually true, Ben.
And here's Rick Rubin sharing his story of how even when he ate healthy, he didn't lose weight until he went into a caloric deficit.
And I went to see his guy, and he put me on egg shake. He had me have 7 egg shakes a day, and then fish, soup, salad for dinner, but very low calorie. So it was not so different than what Phil was recommending, except the difference was Phil suggests not counting calories. And I understand the idea of not counting calories, and now I've come to realize I think not counting calories works once you're at your target weight. But to get to your target weight, you may need to count calories.
And now let's hear from Ethan Supley. You might have heard of him. He lost a lot of weight, and he only managed to finally lose the weight when he tracked calories, when he went into a caloric deficit.
I'm gonna fucking sit down. I'm gonna figure out how many calories my body size would burn normally. I'm gonna figure out what a slight deficit is, and then I'm gonna program it for what he's talking about. And then it was a steady progression down.
As I understand it, And I certainly believe that calories ingested versus calories metabolized, aka calories in versus calories out, absolutely is foundational to whether or not one loses, maintains, or gains body weight. There's no question. I don't think but I mean, the earth is round, and calories in, calories out is a fundamental law of how the body works.
Even though this isn't the most popular thing to say, percentages of carbs being burned versus fats is not the most important factor for weight loss. The most important factor for weight loss that has been shown time and time again is creating a calorie deficit. Meaning if you want to lose fat, you want to burn more calories than you consume, regardless of how many of those calories are coming from fats versus carbohydrates.
Calories in, calories out is a myth, is promulgated and propagated by various folks in the fitness industry. And it turns out that it's not a myth. So let's get into the realities. First, calories in, calories out is essentially covered in the mass energy conservation principle, aka the first law of thermodynamics. And that first law of thermodynamics, to my virgin eyes, perusing the literature, has yet to be broken ever in any system, definitely in a biological system, and in all studied systems so far. It just seems to be never, ever broken. But a lot of people say, but it doesn't apply in biological systems, and they're wrong.
What I want to get across is there's a big, big difference, and no, not enough people say this. There's a big difference between burning fat for fuel and losing body fat. They're not the same thing. So if you're getting into running or you're into running because you're wanting to lose a bit of extra timber, this is not necessarily the way in which that's going to happen. Okay, in fact, through my experience and the experience of a vast number of runners that I've trained who are running for these purposes, it's got nothing to do with the mileage you're doing, nothing to do with the amount of time spent aerobic training. It is all about what happens in the kitchen, the food you eat. And that just sounds so cliche, but it's so, so true. Okay, I've run blocks where I'm doing 60-mile weeks and I'm being good with my training, good with my eating. And the weight just melts off me like, to the point that family members have asked if there's something wrong. I've also done 60-mile blocks, blocks of 60-mile per week training, where I've eaten kind of badly. And my relationship with food isn't great anyway. And if I'm not eating well, that mileage won't move the needle.
So you see, this whole notion of a calorie deficit even comes through in a running channel, which is dedicated for runners. But even he says you can't outrun a bad diet, meaning you need to eat in a calorie deficit if you want to lose weight.
But at the end of the day, it really is about creating a calorie deficit.
Because while calories in versus calories out matters for weight loss,
get a very rough idea of how many calories you should eat during this phase, take your body weight in pounds and multiply it by 10 or 11. So for me, on a typical diet, I'd stick to around 2,300 calories a day, which puts me in a moderate calorie deficit to lose about a pound a week.
So as you can hear, there are many people who agree that the bottom line is it's all about the calories. A calorie deficit is the only way to lose weight. I really hope that this video has helped clear it up for you in your mind, because it does get confusing out there. There's many false experts that claim calories don't matter. They do, and they always will, because a calorie is a unit of energy. However, some calories are unhealthy, and not all calories have the same effect in your body. Obviously, there's fiber and protein, which raises your thermic effect. However, it still boils down to the calories, and that is the only way to lose weight. And if you would like help calculating how many calories you actually need to lose weight, and also how to calculate your macros, because of course it does help if you have the right macro breakdown to reach your body composition goals, because weight loss is one thing, having your body recomp is another thing, and that's where the macros come into play. I have a video just for you. It's popping up on the screen here, and that helps you calculate your calories that you need to lose weight specific to you, and how to calculate your daily macros that you need to hit for the perfect body composition. See you in the next video.